It is 5 o'clock, Tuesday, April 21st. I call to order the meeting of the Planning Commission. Will you please all stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Place your hand over your heart. Ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Hirsch.
Here.
Commissioner McNally.
Here.
Commissioner Hoffman.
Here.
Vice Chair Flaherty.
Yes.
Chair Eisen.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Item number 4, approval of agenda. Does anyone want to move anything around? And if not, I'll take a motion in a second to approve.
So moved.
Second. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Hirsch.
Yes.
Commissioner McNally.
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman.
Yes.
Vice Chair Flaherty.
Yes.
Chair Eisen.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Item number 5, public comment. This is a chance where anyone in the audience or online can comment on anything under the purview of the Planning Commission. I would share with you, however, though, that if there's an item later on in the agenda, you can only testify or comment once. So you can either comment now or comment later, but you can't comment twice. Having said that, is there anyone who wishes to come to the podium and make a comment? If so, please state your name for the record. Seeing no one, I'll ask if there is anyone online.
There are no members of the public wishing to speak at this time.
Thank you. Item number 6, consent calendar. This is an item where we have the action minutes and request for determination of a mural. Since I think I see some representatives from Leadership Hermosa here, I'm going to ask that 6B be pulled for discussion, and I will take a motion for consent for item 6A.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Hirsch.
Yes.
Commissioner McNally.
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman.
Yes.
Vice Chair Flaherty.
Yes.
Chair Eisen.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Item 6B, request for determination of a mural. Since we have 3 prior mural panel members, we're hopefully going to be able to make a determination. But I would at this point, this is not technically a public hearing, but I would ask if the members of Leadership Hermosa, if a representative would like to come forward to make a comment.
Good afternoon, Joe Garvey with Leadership Hermosa Beach. This is my classmate, Matt McCabe. And we are proposing this mural in order to market the Arts District, to make people aware that there are great businesses there and fun things to do in the Arts District. And so this is the mural that we're proposing.
Thank you. Any questions of Leadership Hermosa? Seeing none, thank you, gentlemen. I'd accept a motion in a second to approve or make a determination that this is a mural and not a commercial sign.
Mr. Chairman, in the absence of a motion, there are a couple of items that came to mind. Again, our job, as we all know, is simple. Is it art or is it an advertisement? It's clearly art, so that's not the issue. But in terms of the technicalities associated with this that results in anything that's changed, allegedly coming back or supposedly coming back to us, 2 things jumped out at me. One is that the request is for an 825 square foot mural. The diagram that was presented to us says 725. I just want to make it clear that either one is acceptable, but also if it expands somehow from the rendering that we've seen, that the chair, or the, excuse me, that the department director has the opportunity to approve that. It doesn't come back to us again. And at the risk, this again, not an art jury, there's a famous incident that was in, I believe in Indianapolis, when one of the steakhouses there did a painting of Peyton Manning and had the wrong number on his jersey. And no one has ever looked at that painting without pointing out that the number's wrong. And at the risk of sounding like an art jury, no one will ever look at that mural with what is supposed to be apparently a Type 2 Volkswagen and agree that, oh yeah, they had vertical doors that opened in the middle. They had a hatch. I have no problem with, if this is the artist's intention and is prepared to accept that everlasting, I'll call it a flaw as a car guy, so be it. But again, I would certainly allow the director at her discretion to authorize a re-rendering of that, or for that matter, old guy that I am, if they want to change that Type 2 to a Woody, they could do that, but I would caution you, Woody's open the same way as a Volkswagen. Neither one of them have vertical doors. But having said all of that, I'll move to approve the rendering with the understanding that those minor modifications can be adjusted by the director, not coming back to us, and that it is CEQA exempt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moving and seconded, and before I call for the vote, I'm going to thank Commissioner Hoffman for his eagle eye on the Volkswagen doors. Call for the vote, please.
Commissioner Hirsch,
Yes.
Commissioner McNally,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes?
Vice Chair Flaherty,
Yes.
Chair Eisen,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. Okay, item number 7, the first of our only public hearing, adopting a resolution approving a 2-year time extension, CUP 2601 for conditional use permit. Staff report, please.
Good evening, Chair. Dee Dee Tran will provide this presentation for you this evening.
So good evening, Chairperson, Commissioners. Lovely to be here before you this evening. Today, as discussed, we're before you is a request for a 2-year time extension for an existing conditional use permit that was CUP 21-09 and a parking plan, Park 21-01 at 1018 Hermosa Avenue, the Comedy and Magic Club in the C1 zone. Next slide, please. As you are all probably familiar with this property, it's there at the corner of 10th and Hermosa Avenue. Next slide, please. And there's the Comedy of Magic Club there for you, a reminder. Next slide, please. I just want to go quickly over the history of this particular land use, the business of the Comedy and Magic Club. In August of 1979, when we still had a Board of Zoning Adjustment rather than a Planning Commission, there was a request granted to modify an existing conditional use permit to allow the service of alcohol in conjunction with the Comedy and Magic Entertainment Club. There have been subsequent entitlements in 82, 84, 88, and 90. These expanded the use and the function of the club, including outdoor dining, an amendment to allow the expansion into the adjacent tenant space, as well as a relocation of the box office. And then in 1990, an expansion of the additional use into the adjacent tenant space at 1014 Hermosa Avenue. The Comedy and Magic Club returned to the Planning Commission on February 15th in 2022. The Planning Commission approved Resolution 2201 and Resolution 2202. Those were for a parking plan and a CUP amendment to allow the expansion of seating and the enclosure of a patio area on the corner of 10th and Hermosa Avenue. As you're probably familiar with, that work has not yet commenced. For that reason, the applicant returned to the Planning Commission on March 1st, 2024, and received a 2-year extension. That entitlement extended until March 19th of this year. Next slide, please. Such that the work has not yet been done, and the extension of time would have expired March 19th. The applicant submitted a request for a second time extension to the CUP and parking plan on January 26, 2026. And Hermosa Beach Municipal Code 1770-20 specifies that the Planning Commission can approve an extension of a period not to exceed 2 years, but it does not limit the number of extensions permitted. Next slide, please. The applicant, for your reference, did ask for a time extension without a limit, but we are mandated to extend only 2 years at a time. He did cite the pandemic and inflation as reasons for the project not being completed. This project does have general plan consistency. It is consistent with Goal 11, which is a proud and visible identity as an art and cultural community. I think the Comedy and Magic Club, anyone would agree, would certainly fit within that definition and that goal, as well as policy 11.3, which is art as a cultural tourism. There's definitely audience members who come into the city to see the specific acts that the Comedy and Magic Club offers, so there's compliance there. Also, with Goal 13, the land use patterns that improve the health of residents, I certainly think that laughing and relaxation and enjoyment improves the health of our residents. Next slide, please. This is a public hearing. As such, on April 8th, there were 858 public hearing notices mailed in a 50-foot radius to all occupants and tenants. On April 9th, the notice was published in the Easy Reader, and there was also notices of those bright orange posters that were posted at the building. This project is proposed to be exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act under Class 1, Section 15301A, existing facilities. Next slide, please. So it's staff's recommendation that the Planning Commission determine that the project is categorically exempt from CEQA as defined in that section, 15301A, Class 1, and adopt a resolution approving conditional use permit, CUP 26-01, which would then extend the existing conditional use permit and parking plan, and those original projects allowed that stage relocation and additional floor area at 1018 Hermosa Avenue, known as the Comedy and Magic Club. Next slide, please. So that concludes staff's presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. As well, the owner of the Comedy and Magic Club, Michael Lacey, is here to address any questions that you have for him tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tran. Fellow commissioners, any question of staff?
No.
Thank you. I'm going to open the public hearing. Mr. Lacey, if you would care to come forward to comment.
Thanks so much for hearing this. You guys, Mike Lacey, Comedy and Magic Club. Thanks. You know, this has been the biggest challenging time in almost 50 years that I've been there. And we continue to have those problems. I would love to be able to expand, but I'm so grateful to you, and she's done such a great job. Dee has. You know, she's really, I've had some challenges in the last few years, and they've just been great. So you've really, the staff there now is just fantastic. But anyway, right now, we need to have as much flexibility as possible because the economy is so poor that it's difficult. We've seen drastic reductions in business across the country. The arts have been very, very slow. And on top of that, I just was here on time, barely, because I was on the phone with lawyers, because I'm having these problems where fake websites are selling our tickets online, and they're paying Google all this money to move us down and move them up. And they're charging 3 times the price for my tickets, and they're saying there's tiered seating, how much they pay, and we're trying to stop them. Now there's at least 3 or 4 of them now that keep bumping that up, and they keep changing the phone numbers and their emails. And customers, only a few of them call. They say, we used to come all the time. It was $35 CJ and $25 for the show. Well, they're charging $125 for J and $85 for a $25 ticket. So we're trying to get the word out. I'm having to deal with lawyers, but since this has happened in the last year, I've seen a 60% reduction in business. And I don't know what's happened on Friday and Saturday nights, which were always busy for us, have just dropped way down. And I don't know if that's fully the economy or if it's also these websites. So it's great that I have all these options, because as soon as I can, of course, I would love to expand, because people love to see big names, but they're not very willing to see just great acts where they can say, I saw Jerry Seinfeld or Gabriel Iglesias before they were stars. So I really may need those seats. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you. So are there any questions at all or anything that I could possibly answer?
Fellow commissioners, any questions of Mr. Lacey? Thank you, sir. We can help you on the item before us. I'm sorry we can't do anything for you on bogus websites. Both you and your institution are obviously a cultural icon here that we want to do what we can to help and support.
Well, it's great, and ever since I came in front of you a few years ago, it's wonderful. For years and years of being blocked from getting the seats back, all of you decided to change that back, and that was a great thing that happened. So I can't thank you enough. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks. And you are helping me by saying yes to this, even against them, because it opens a lot more possibilities for me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much.
Anyone else in chambers care to comment? Do we have anyone online?
Yes, there's one caller. Laura Pena, when you've been unmuted and you may begin to speak.
Hi, yes, this is Laura Pena. Good evening, Chair, Commissioners, and staff. I just wanted to let you know I support this time extension for the Comedy Magic Club. As Mike was saying, this is a long-standing institution, and the entitlement before you tonight, which was originally approved in 22 and extended in 24, is back again because the current code only allows extensions in 2-year increments. And I think that matters because our city's own economic and market study described this business as an iconic destination, as you did, Chair. So tonight, the real issue is timing and process. The applicant clearly explains the significant hardships that he's had, but he's not the only one. These are real issues facing our businesses who try to want to adapt and improve their business models. So we need to be cognizant about how our processes may be overly burdensome and no longer serve our community. To me, this request highlights an opportunity for the city to improve its process. When a business is not changing the approved use, not materially increasing the impacts, and has already been found compatible with the neighborhood, it should not have to keep returning for repeated public hearings every 2 years just to preserve the same entitlement. The original approval itself was set to expire after that 24 months unless significant construction was authorized or commenced. Other cities have found more practical ways to help businesses in exactly these situations. Santa Clara allows the community development director to extend the entitlements for 2 additional 12-month periods. Culver City grants an automatic initial 2-year extension and then allows the director to approve additional extensions when the applicant shows good faith or an effort to actually get work done. These are useful examples because they keep oversight in place while reducing unnecessary delay and repeated hearings for unchanged projects. This is where we can do better. We should be looking at more flexible administrative extensions for unchanged projects and clear good faith standards when permits are actively in process. A truly business-friendly city is not one that lowers its standards. It's one that applies them to improve its process when needed, and it's needed here. I stand behind this business, and I hope that you will support this, but also support improving the process. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pena. Anyone else online?
There are no other callers.
Closing the public hearing, bringing it back to my fellow commissioners. What is your pleasure?
Move to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Call for the roll. Call for the vote, excuse me.
Commissioner Hirsch,
Yes.
Commissioner McNally,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes?
Vice Chair Flaherty,
Yes.
Chair Eisen.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Mr. Lacy. Moving on, item number 8, Community Development Director. What interesting reports do we have tonight?
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. I have just a few items to share with you this evening. First and foremost, I'd like to announce the promotion of Dee Dee Tran from Assistant Planner to Associate Planner effective yesterday.
Yay.
So we're so pleased to have her. She joined us just about a year ago and immediately showed her savvy and promise, and we hope she has a long career with us here in Hermosa Beach. So we're really happy about that. That now opens up assistant planner position, which we will be circulating this month. Moving on to my second item, as we discussed last month, we have prepared and posted guidance on convex slope determinations and kind of refreshed the explainer on how height is measured. So hopefully that will kind of smooth the road moving forward for folks who kind of have those circumstances where a slope determination may or may not be appropriate. Additionally, kind of consistent with what our prior public commenter mentioned, after a lot of work, I'm also pleased to report that the Administrative Process and Procedure section of the Zoning Code will be posted online this upcoming week in anticipation of a public hearing at the City Council in May. So you all saw that about more than a year ago, and it's taken us a bit of time to get everything moving forward, but that will be the first big piece of the zoning code update to hit City Council. From there, we'll be moving in the next fiscal year to a picking up where you all left off with the commercial aspects of the zoning code update, and both Alexis and Dee Dee will be spearheading that with support from a technical consultant. So look forward to more fun coming this summer. And then finally, I just would like everyone to know that I will be absent next month from the Planning Commission meeting. I applied for and was awarded a scholarship to attend a leadership academy for municipal executives. So I'll be out of town learning. But I'll be back in June. So that's all from me.
Thank you, Director. Item number 9, comments, observations by my fellow commissioners. Seeing none. Future agenda. This is a receive and file type of event. Any comments on it first before we take a vote? Or before, actually, I guess we need a motion.
Move to receive and file?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Hirsch,
Yes.
Commissioner McNally,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Vice Chair Flaherty,
Yes.
Chair Eisen.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I'll take a motion to adjourn at 5:25.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't hear any nays. Thank you very much, everyone.
Good job.